What's going on, guys? It's Draman, and today we're going to be doing a performance review on the Under Armour ClutchFit Drive 3. Starting off with the traction. Initially, I thought that the flat traction pattern was only going to work well on perfectly clean courts, but in reality, it works extremely well in any condition. The rubber compound Under Armour used here is extremely tacky, so whether you're on a completely clean court or completely dirty court, the traction is gonna grip and bite the floor extremely well. You can listen to me talk about it all day, but once you try it out for yourself, you're really gonna be surprised how well they perform. The full-length herringbone is fantastic, but the diamond blade pattern that's in the forefoot works even better because it's a little bit more pliable than the herringbone sections of the outsole, but as a whole, the outsole is durable enough for me to recommend for outdoor use. So if you're looking at the ClutchFit Drive 3 as an outdoor only option, this outsole and rubber compound should last you a decent amount of time. Next up is the cushion, and MicroG is finally back on the hardwood, and Under Armour just reminds us that MicroG, it's the real MVP. The full-length MicroG foam layer truly feels like it's taking your hard landings and turning them into explosive takeoffs, and the cushion setup works just as hard as you do, and it provides a dynamic experience that'll cater to any type of player. If you're just standing around, it's gonna feel real soft and plush, but the more pressure you apply, the more firm and responsive MicroG foam gets, and that thick ortholite insole is just an extra layer of comfort. However, the heel is just a little bit disappointing. It's made out of charged foam, which is fine, but when you compare it to the rest of the cushion, it just feels way too firm and, quite frankly, like nothing's there. Had Under Armour went with the full-length charged foam carrier with the full-length MicroG footbed that your foot sits directly on, this would have been a little bit more consistent and fluid in my opinion, but what's used here is perfectly fine, and if you're looking for a cushion setup that gives you the best of both worlds, that being plush bounciness and firm responsiveness, it really doesn't get any better than this. Moving along to the materials, you won't believe this, but Under Armour put ClutchFit back into the ClutchFit, and the results is one of the best synthetic uppers that I've ever used. The heel and midfoot area are extremely comfortable and soft and feature an exposed mesh with fuse overlays, while the toe box area is completely wrapped in a synthetic fuse overlay, and this adds durability but remains extremely soft and comfortable. It basically feels like nothing is there in a good way. The materials are gonna move with your foot as opposed to your foot moving the materials, and this allows you to focus on your game rather than what's on your feet, and for a synthetic fuse upper, this is about as good as it gets. Next up is the fit, and Under Armour really prides itself on their gear fitting their athletes perfectly, and the ClutchFit Drive 3 came very close to doing that. The width and length are true to size. My toes are exactly where I want them to be, and there's very little to no dead space in the toe box area, while the midfoot materials are soft enough to conform to anybody's foot, regardless of how wide they may be. The tongue, however, is a completely different story. Usually, Under Armour gives you a really nice tongue that wraps around the front of your ankle like a glove, but this time around they just use a basic mesh tongue, and it definitely feels like it's just there as opposed to giving you a nice one-to-one fit. There are 4 eyelets that are actually attached to the tongue, and this is what Under Armour is calling their bear trap lacing system. And instead of the eyelets wrapping down the sidewalls of the shoe and grabbing the sides of your foot, this bear trap lacing system applies pressure from the top down. It's not an uncomfortable fit, it's just different, enough to the point where you're gonna notice it during your first couple of runs. Next up is the support, and to be completely honest with you, there's not a lot of support features in the ClutchFit Drive 3, but what is used here works pretty well. There's an external heel cup that'll keep your heel from shifting side to side, a TPU shank for torsional support to make sure your foot doesn't contort in the wrong way, and that bear trap lacing system keeps your foot from slipping from within the shoe. But what the ClutchFit Drive 3 lacks is lateral support. There's no huge lateral outrigger on the outsole or heavy overlays in the midfoot or collar area, so you're really gonna have to rely on the excellent traction system and wide base of the forefoot to keep you from rolling an ankle. There is a high top version of this model, but like I said in the material section, the ClutchFit material in the ankle and collar area is extremely soft, so it's not gonna really provide any more support than the low version does. So if you're looking for a lot of support, I would either recommend getting an ankle brace to wear with these, or look somewhere else completely. But for someone who doesn't really like playing in lows, I didn't mind the support system in the ClutchFit Drive 3 at all, and I had no problems while I was playing in them. So overall, the ClutchFit line, in my opinion, should be suitable for every player positions 1 through 5, and the ClutchFit Drive 3 came very close to doing that. The cushion setup is truly dynamic and will please both big men and guards because it provides a plush, bouncy experience when you want it and a firm, responsive experience when you need it. And the traction setup never misses a beat no matter what conditions you may come across. And while the materials are soft and comfortable, they lack the necessary support for bigger, more explosive players who put a lot of torque into their shoes. As it sits right now, the ClutchFit Drive 3 is a great option for players positions 1 through 3 who are looking for a comfortable but durable experience and want a fantastic dynamic cushion setup with great traction. Anyways guys, that pretty much takes care of the performance review for the ClutchFit Drive 3. If you still have any questions, please let me know in the comment section below. I'll do my best to answer you as fast as I can. You can pick up a pair of the ClutchFit Drive 3s with the purchase links in the description box below. My name's Jaron. It's been great having you. Catch you in the next one. Peace. We're gonna be talking about the top 5 Encore models that you can get for under $110. Starting off the list at number 5, we got the Nike LeBron Soldier 9. Next up, we're gonna talk about the cushion, and both the Crazy Explosive and Rose 7 use Boost foam, but only one of them feels like Boost